Now, negotiations are continuing between Numsa and the Steel and Engineering Industries Federation of Southern Africa. Workers rejected a 6% wage increase. Let's get an update on developments now with Phakamile Hlubi-Majola, who is the spokesperson for Numsa. Phakamile, thank you so much for making time on the lead this afternoon. So employers last week made a revised offer of 6%. What mandate did you get from your members? Were they not satisfied at all with that proposal?
Good afternoon, Clement, and good afternoon to your viewers, and thank you for having me on your show. The mandate that our members gave us in response to the 6% offer which was made by the Employer Association, CIFSA, was that they want the 6% to be on actuals, meaning that it must be based on what they're actually earning and not based on the minimum rate. And this, for us, remains a sticking point between us and CIFSA. Our members feel that they want a meaningful increase, and this is where we are at this point.
The employers are saying this is fair, it's equitable, and it's sustainable, and anything more is almost impossible and could lead to more challenges and even job losses in the industry.
We don't think it's fair that this industry benefited so much from workers, particularly last year when workers took the decision in the name of COVID, in the name of defending the industry, to forego their increases. And I think it is an objective fact that no one has suffered under this economy more than ordinary workers and their families. So the industry can't even make that claim as far as we're concerned. And secondly, and most important, the fact of the matter is that the global steel industry is actually in recovery. According to S&P Global, the global steel industry, the price of iron ore, for example, doubled in the last year alone. All we're asking for is that this industry, which benefited from workers not receiving an increase last year, which has also benefited from the price of global steel going up, should give a little bit back to workers. We're not that far apart from each other. We're asking for 6%, but we want it to be on actuals. And if the sector cared about the recovery of this economy, if it cares about the industry, they will accede to workers' demands, because this is fair given the sacrifices that workers and their families have made.
Yeah. How much longer are you willing to negotiate with the employers? Because they seem to say this is the final offer they're making. And I'm asking that because they've indicated that employees have lost more than 100 million rand in wages. So I imagine the longer the negotiations continue and you're not finding each other, the more impact, not only on employees, but just on the industry as a whole.
Well, it is true that the people who are most affected by the strike are workers themselves. For every day that they go through the strike, it means it's no work, no pay. Our mandate is from workers. Workers have said to us, we want 6% on actuals. So all we're saying is that, you know, before this, Clement, we were at 8%. Before 8%, we're at 15%. We are really not that far from each other. The industry must come to the table and put 6% of actuals on the table. We can settle the strike, we can end the strike, and everybody can return to normal.
Yeah, the issue of violence is one that you've had to contend with. There are workers that say that some of your striking members have been intimidating them. There have been reports of instances where some have been assaulted. How are you managing that as Numsa?
Our position as the trade union is that we remind our members all the time that when they're on the picketing, and it's not just members, all workers who are participating in this strike, because this is a national engineering strike. It's not just Numsa members who are on strike. Members of MEUSA are also on strike. Members of UASA are also on strike, as I understand it. All workers must adhere to the picketing rules. As a trade union, we condemn violence. We distance ourselves from unlawful activity, because if members participate in criminal activity, they are just delivering themselves to the employer. So we continue to encourage workers to adhere to the rules, not to participate in unlawful behavior, because ultimately it just undermines their own cause.